Hey y'all, Sirturmund here again, bringing you another LOR video. This time around, I'm bringing you some Draven Rumble fun. So for those of you who are not aware, the way that this deck plays is kind of like a really burn deck. So it's kind of replacing what you used to see before with Draven Sion, and before that, Draven Gens. It feels like the one consistent is always going to be Draven, and then the second champion keeps changing every time as a new Naxos or a new PNC champion gets released, right? But yeah, so this one is really fun. The whole point of the game, the deck again, is to go as fast as possible, try to burn them down. You have your fearsome units to get through that. You have a lot of unit generation, and then you can finish them off with the burn, right? You also have the combo with Rumble. So obviously Rumble, you can, when you play him, you can give a spell shield. If you discard 3 cards, and you have enough discard targets here, so obviously you can discard the Grenadier, you can discard the Ignitions from the Ballistic Bot, you can discard the Flame Chompers and the Fallen Riders to be able to trigger the Rumble, and even the Draven Axe as well, to be able to summon the Rumble with Quick Attack, Spell Shield, and Impact, and the Rumble can finish the game when combined with Might, because that puts in a lot of damage against the opponent, right? So yeah, this is a really fun deck, and like I said, it plays really fast and low to the curve, right? So you have your Senate Urchin, kind of gives you drawing while also triggering your conditions of the Baboon and the Fallen Rider. The Ambush, I play one off as like a little cheeky way to commit lethal, especially if your Ballistic Bug gets really big. Ballistic Bug is just another way to create other fodder for discard while also becoming a threat himself. Everything else is pretty standard from the Sion, from the list from back when Sion Draven was a thing. So like obviously from the Fallen Rider. I think we only need one Lost Soul in this deck. I think more than one is not needed. It's not like the Sion decks that needed all the discard fodder and relied on the Lost Soul. I also don't think that this card is that great anymore either after it got nerfed, right, from having the Challenger. So I think just one is okay. It's not like we need the infinite generation from it. And then the rest is, like I said, pretty straightforward. 2 Willing Death as a way to kind of deal with some blockers or some attackers if we need to. You can also do some funny stuff with Willing Death where you can do it while Rumble is in combat to trigger the impact. And the thing about Rumble is that if he levels up on his attack, then he actually gets the impact too. Well, the additional impact from his level up, and it will trigger 2 damage. And you'll see one of the games where that actually ended up being important. But yeah, again, burn aggro deck. What else is there to explain, right? So in the current meta, I think it does really well against scouts because he has a lot of blockers that scouts cannot get through. It does okay versus Ahri Kennen. Like you can beat Ahri Kennen for sure by going fast. The problem with Ahri Kennen is that maybe you shouldn't rely on the Rumble in that game because they're able to get rid of the spell shield using the Kennen mark, and then able to bounce your Rumble back or something like that, right? So usually against Ahri Kennen, you want to rely more on the fearsomes from the Fallen Riders and just trying to put as much damage as possible and try to kill it with the burn. It does really bad against control, so just be careful about that, right? So Darkness and FTR are able to kind of beat the deck because they can just remove all your threats. So, but yeah, if you're looking into a lot of scouts or a lot of Ahri Kennens or a lot of kind of aggro decks out there, this deck does really well against all of them. So hope you enjoy the gameplay. So in this game, we're gonna be going up against Karma Ezreal. This is very scary, right? Because they have a lot of removal for our stuff, and I don't think we have enough to push through. Oof. This is also not a great hand, right? Okay, the Bamboo makes it a little bit better, but not good either. Because the Bamboo can get removed by a Static Shot, can get removed by a Mystic Shot. Draven with 2 health now means that he dies to a Mystic Shot, by the way. So that's the problem with Draven now. I think it's too early to do the Grenadier. Okay, he takes 3 damage, which is not bad. So we take 1 Mystic Shot out of the equation. I like passing here, burn his mana. Because again, we have a lot of burn in our hand right now, right? So we're not planning to be using all this burn anyways. Here we can summon the second Draven. We can do spinning ads. I want to be. I think I want to be with some of the Fallen Rider. No, because we can do Fallen Rider. Like I like doing this, spreading out my damage, and we still have another spinning ads to be able to summon the Grenadier if we need to. And I think we try to push as much damage as we can right here. If he has a stun, the stun will be very punishing, right? Concussive. He doesn't do it. So I think we can do it like this. Again, spread out our damage as much as possible. So now he have 4, 8, 12, 15 damage. That's going to face right now if he doesn't do anything about it. Double Mystic, get excited. He can have a million things here. Oh, wow. Double static. Okay. Try to see if it's worth it to go for a might. Put the last another 3 damage in. I don't know if it is, but I don't see another occasion where I'll be able to use the might. Right? Because if I don't use the might right here, then he'll be able to always be able to stop this, right? So I'm willing to do my mana. I'm willing to take him down to 7. And now he needs to be careful that he has like enough for like obviously the only punish to that might is if we draw the Rumble. If we draw the Rumble, then that's very sad. But even if we draw Rumble, we probably don't want to have to play Rumble right here, right? It's gonna level him up. Obviously, right? I think I prefer having my burn go to face. Oh, wow. We ended up joining the Rumble. So the might would have been good. Why would he do it like this? Hear me out. Why did we just skip and just have the Rumble like that? Yeah, so he has a thermal. Cool. He's gonna try to burn us, right? We have the burn in our hand to do 7. We just need to make him tap out of we just have to have him tap out of an answer to it. You can have the stun here. If he taps out of the answers to the burn, we can just finish the game. So he has 2. That means he has 2 mystic shots based on the fact that he did 2 things like that. Okay. I'm wondering if it's actually smart to do it this way. Do we play around the Nupify? I don't think I ever want to summon Rumble again. If he has the Nupify, I'm sad. If he doesn't have the Nupify, he can't do anything about it. I'd rather not play around. I have to play both around Deny and the Nupify. Ah, we got it. There we go. It's because if I waited for next turn, he could also have Deny to stop this, right? There, he only had Nupify and nothing else to be able to answer that. So there we go. Good games. So in this matchup, we're going to be going up against Xerath Targon. Been against this deck once before in one of my previous videos, and I'm still unsure what the deck actually is supposed to do. I love having the Rumble plus the Might. I think it's a little bit of a high roll. We just need to have cards so we can discard with Rumble now. We are attacking on turn 4, and they do play the vulnerable landmarks, right? So we need to be careful not to die to that. Mystic Shot is not what we need. I guess we can summon the Draven and have the access as a discard fodder. Yeah, so here he's gonna just do the Rock Hopper. Oh, no Rock Hopper, okay. We can go Draven. Can go Draven, gives us the ads. I don't think he has a lot of great ways to block this now. We attack, he can block like this. He gets the landmark. So now chip is triggered. You got a landmark on the field. So he has a lot of great ways. I think as long as he doesn't do the vulnerable, like if he doesn't have any vulnerable, I think I'm willing to summon the Rumble right here. That is a little bit scary though, right? Because that's a lot of damage that we're taking. I think we can still do it like this. Because he cannot attack with everything. Because if he attacks with any of these two guys, I'm willing to block with the Rumble. So I'm still willing to do it like this. Yep. And if he does it like this, then we can just do this right here and block with the Draven. And we have the Fallen Rider as a blocker for the Grumpy Rock Bear on our next turn. So we don't have to kind of worry about him that much. If I do the Fallen Rider, do I get punished by anything here? I think there are. I think there's a few things that punish me if I don't open attack. So I'm willing to just open attack right here like this. And because I have the ads, I can summon more blockers with the Coral Cannon. So that's okay. So he takes a 6 damage. We can do the Fallen Rider. And we can do the Coral Cannons as other blockers, right? I'm gonna do the Decimate now because I have a hunch that he runs Rite of Negation. So this is not a bad play while he doesn't have the Rite of Negation mana. And we still have enough mana to do a lot of other things. This is a great draw because now I can discard something with the Get Excited. Wow! Rising Altar. When I'm destroyed. And the Rite of the Arcane is exactly 3 mana. So this can summon a Damien Unbound. That's actually very scary. We might have to actually just kill. Still think we kind of go for the burn condition, right? Because what he can do here, he can do the Rite of the Arcane into the Risen Rider. So now this gives him a 7 attack. What we can do to keep this blocker is use our burn. Maybe we actually did need to summon something because now I'm going to be hit by 7, 12, 15. I don't have enough blockers, right? 12, 14. I want to be able to burn, but I don't know if that's enough. We can do this. I think it's not gonna be lethal. Now we have a good blocker for the Rock Bear too. So we have the Risen Rider as a blocker for the Grumpy Rock Bear. He shouldn't attack with the Desert Naturalist because all he does is gonna get the Rumble to closer to level up. If he attacks with the Damien, the Unbound, that's a problem, but it's not a big of a problem. That's an interesting deck. Sure. We'll play the Poro. We have enough for the Might. We have enough for the Might. I think I'm willing to leave the Risen Rider back as a blocker. Although the only things that he can block it with, I mean, he can block it with the Damien the Unbound. Damien. Damien. I don't know why I keep saying Damien. I think it's fine to attack with everything. And just assume that he doesn't have a way to deal with the Might. Right? Because we can do the Might and have enough mana for double Mystic. This puts him at 7. I don't think he has enough to stop this. He will need to open attack next turn. I guess he can win on the open attack because he has enough of the... enough with the Overwhelm. We level him up. Get the opponent to 3. If we have a get excited or anything like that, we win. Oh, this is perfect. We drew something that's low cost, so we can actually get him down to 0. We can do the Mystic Shot to face, and then summon the Mecha Forcer, which is gonna be a 0 cost 6 cost blocker. Unfortunately, it means that we lose this. I'm willing to do this right now. If he has the Vital Negation, he needs to do it right now. Okay. Does he still win on the open? I don't think he wins in the open attack. Actually, he does. And all we got was the Decimates. So he does win on the open attack here, unfortunately for us. Because we don't have a way to block anything else here. So he ended up winning by 1 HP. Wow. Well played by the opponent. Yeah, we don't have a way. Oh man, there's so many things. There's so many outs here, right? We have Willing Death. We have Willing Death. We have 2 more Get Excited. We have another Mystic Shot. What was a better play there? So in this matchup, we're gonna be going up against Spider Aggro. I think we have a really good game plan versus Spider Aggro because we have a lot of fearsome blockers. I guess that's what it comes down to, right? So we have a lot of fearsome blockers, and once we summon Draven on the field, he doesn't really have a good blocker for Draven, right? Unless he sacrifices his own Fervor. Unfortunately, we don't have a blocker for the 1-drop Spider right here, but we will have a blocker next turn because we have the Fallen Rider. But we do have a blocker if he has the Legion, which he doesn't. I'm gonna do it like this because the Fallen Rider I think is gonna do a lot of damage next turn. I don't think he has really anything here that he wants to use to block this. So no matter what, we're gonna get in for at least, 2 damage, even if he does the Arachnoid Sentry, or we just get in for 6. And I think this already shows that the opponent is gonna be in a very bad spot. I don't see how he wins this anymore. And now we have a second Draven too. So the Draven with the axe means that he has a really hard time being able to he cannot deal with the axe because we're almost always able to buff back our unit even after a frenzy Skittler. So yeah, this deck tends to do really well against kind of aggro decks like this. I mean, we can always just wait if he has a second onlooker. There it is. So we can play the Baboon. Now we have blockers for both. We can still play Draven next turn. There's also a consideration not to do that. Oh, he has a 3. Okay. We can block those 2. That's fine. Might as well not take all that damage, right? So I like the Baboon there instead of the Draven because I didn't want to have to sacrifice my Draven, right? So triple onlooker. We know what he got from the Stalking Shadow. So here we can play Draven. Let's do it like this first. A 3rd Draven. I wanted to see what I drew beforehand. Obviously not amazing, not bad either. But we have something that we can use to drag. This is not even a blocker, so we can do this. If he summons something with 1 HP, we can drag it with the Flank Jumpers. So that was kind of my thought process by me playing the Sonic Urchin first. The rear guy doesn't do anything because it's not a fearsome blocker. It really just doesn't do anything. We just hit him here for another 7 damage. And now we have 5 damage here. That's huge. So, opponent has 4 cards left. We have another Draven and enough mana to do Willing Death next turn. We also have double Get Excited and a Mystic Shot. We have the burn that we need. Skittler is a little bit scary here. But I'm willing to sacrifice the Draven. We also don't need to. We can just play the Augmented. Because if we play this... No, I think I'm willing to sacrifice the Draven. So, because what we can do is that we can do... I guess we don't have to sacrifice the Draven. We can just do this and level him up, no? And then next turn we just pull the Skittler with the Flame Chompers. And even if he has another Fervor, we're still pushing in 2 damage, 4 damage. Draven, 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 Draven. Alright. So yeah, this is lethal next turn, right? Lethal on the open. I want to do it on the open before he's able to heal. I guess he can heal with the Doom Beast. But this is gonna be 8 damage, and then we can just do the Mystic Shot in response to a Doom Beast. That's another Fervor. More damage if we do this, right? So this is lethal. Yeah, this is lethal right here. He needs to have the 3rd Fervor, and the 3rd Fervor gets countered by the Get Excited. So this is guaranteed lethal. And there we go. Draven leveling up and winning us the game. Let's go. So in this matchup, we're going to be going up against Ahri Kennen. And we're going up against Ultraman. Wow. Okay, so this should be a really good matchup. Really great players. So I'm excited to see how this one goes. Unfortunately, our hand doesn't look amazing. I mean, the Lost Soul is not bad. The Lost Soul is not bad because it's a fearsome attacker, right? So it allows us to kind of rush him down a little bit. We also get we get some elusive blockers now. Obviously, we have the Mystic Shot now as well. We're gonna have to take that 2 attack. I was debating if it was worth it to do it right now. And it might have been worth it. It might have been worth it to do the Pearl Cannon into the Lost Soul. I just don't think he actually was. Okay, he's gonna take the 3 damage here, of course. I think the way that we win, obviously, is through burning him down. So he definitely doesn't want to just take that damage just like that. I'm okay doing this now. We'll take that one, okay. We'll do the Ballistic Bot. Start burning him down slowly. And just summon the Twin Blade Revenant next turn. So I think doing the Revenant is more important because he can push a little bit more damage. If he does Kinku Wayfinder, we can do the Ignition, and this becomes a 3 attack blocker. Or sorry, a 3 attack unit. So now I'm forcing him to have to block or take 7 damage, right? Of course, he could have the Twin or something to protect against the Revenant. Or he could just recall. Okay. I was thinking if he was going to do the Homecoming, but I don't know if the Homecoming would have been worth it there. I guess it could have been. I think he needs to open attack, right? Because we can just play the... if he doesn't open attack, we can just play the Daring Portal. So now he doesn't get a blocker here. Having the Will in Death is not bad. I'm just trying to debate what's better here. Sunny Urchin or Will in Death? Oof. I think we do it like this. I think we do this first. See what he does. There's a chance we have to just take that damage from that. Like, I think I'm willing to take this damage. So I'm willing to take this damage because we can summon Draven and then summon the Rumble next turn. And he's going to be in a bad spot. Because we can do this. So we can drag the dancing droplet so that the flame jumper survives. I'm forcing to have to block with everything else that he has, right? So by dragging the dancing droplet, it means that now he has to be, he needs to block with something else. Obviously, he can always just recall the cannon if he needs to. But this is still a lot of damage. And we have the Mystic Shot to be able to do something if he does like a fancy recall with like, I guess, Homecoming or something like that. Wow. So he's not recalling at all. So I think I'm okay taking this like this. He loses most of his major units, right? That's his second cannon that he loses. That's the second cannon that he loses. Obviously, he can stop the Mystic Shot with like an Amplify. Okay, gets the third cannon. He has 2, 4. Cannon is also level up, right? So 2, 4, 5, 6 damage. If he attacks with the cannon, we have enough to do the Willing Death. So we have Willing Death, which is 6, 7, 8. We have 9 mana. So I think we can go ahead and do this one. Because I'm thinking I want to be able to Willing Death if he commits like an Absolver. So I don't think I'm ever playing the Ballistic bot this turn. So I think I'm okay doing this. And now we have to get excited, which is a little bit better. So now we don't have to commit the Willing Death. We can just do the get excited, right? Okay, so that means that we have one less Willing Death. So that's why he's trying to play around. He's trying to play around the possibility of us having like a Draven as a Willing Death. The problem with him doing this is that we can just pass, by the way. We already know that we killed 2 cannons, right? We killed 2 cannons already, didn't we? Because we just go down to 1 here, so we technically don't have to block. Did we kill 2 cannons? That's the first cannon, and this is the second cannon. So we actually have not killed 2 cannons. I think we can play around. Him having the second cannon, with the fact that we have Mystic Shot and we also have Get Excited. So because we have 2 burn spells to be able to get rid of the target that he does, I think we're okay with that. Obviously, what he's gonna do is that he's gonna just try to. He has enough blockers for everything, right? But he doesn't have enough. He doesn't have a blocker for the fearsome. So what he might be thinking is that he can do a Homecoming to recall something. But we have a lot of mana to be able to play around the Homecoming. We can pull the cannon. Oh, and we even got a second Mystic Shot now, right? Because we can just pull the cannon, which is his only fearsome blocker, and now he doesn't have any other fearsome blockers. So he won't be able to block this. And we can attack like this. So now he needs to either have the third cannon, because he played one and he summoned another one with the Wayfinder. He could also just have that. Okay. That's very well played by him. Very well played by him. We have 3, 6, 8, 10. So there is a neat little trick. So we can actually do the Willing Death. I'm going to do the Willing Death from the cannon. So that presents another set of damage. Because the Rumble is going to level up. Because the Rumble is going to level up, it's going to present another set of damage and puts him down to 3. Which means that then we can kill with Get Excited plus the Mystic Shot, and we also get rid of the second cannon. So he wouldn't have a way to kill us anymore. Because the impact is going to trigger anyways, because of the fact that Rumble is already on the attack tank. already attacking, I mean. So the impact triggers with the Willing Death. So it triggers the first impact, and then the second and third impact will trigger, putting it down to 3. So he has to commit something here. We have Mystic Shots and Get Excited to deal with whatever he commits. Okay. I think we have to just let this go now. So there's another trick here. We can do the spinning ads on the Rumble, right? Which means that the Rumble will level up, and then it hits for 2 impact. Because the Rumble levels up before the impact takes effect, so this takes him down to 4. So by taking him down to 4, now he needs to be worried about Mystic Shot, Get Excited, and everything like that, right? So because now he dies to double Mystic Shot. So doing the second ads here, Rumble will level up, and then because it's leveled up, now instead of just doing impact 1, it does impact 2. Putting him down to 4. And now we can go Mystic Shot, and Get Excited if we need to. So we start with the Mystic Shot. We do the second Mystic Shot. Of course, we still die. If he has the second cannon, we still die. Wow. Okay. We also now just die to the elusive. If he has another way to block this, and we didn't. Woo! That's why it was so important to do that second axe there, to put him down to 4. Because if we didn't put him down to 4, then the second Mystic doesn't do it. And he can just deny the actual attack that goes for lethal. But that was very close, because if you still had if he had a cannon, the third cannon, he would have definitely just won there as a response. So yeah, GG's Ultraman. So in this match, we're gonna be going up against Akshan Sivir. Now, I think we should be okay into this matchup. I mean, we go really fast. So what we have to try to do here is try to go faster than they can deal with us. I think having the might right now is a little bit too early. I don't mind the rest of my hand though, especially now that we got a Fallen Rider. So having the Fallen Rider is going to be huge. Yeah, so we can do the Fallen Rider right here, see what we draw. And now we have Fallen Rider, and we can also summon the Grenadier on our next turn, right? On our next attack turn. Because I think the way that we have to try to do here, obviously they don't have any heal. So by us attacking as fast as possible, he's gonna have a really hard time dealing with this. The problem here is that we get punished by him having. We get punished if he has a Price to Protector, right? Because he can gives him a fearsome blocker. It gives him a fearsome blocker. So what if we do this instead and just go wide? So that even if he has a fearsome blocker, we still have a second Fallen Rider. So here he has to commit on the action, right? Obviously, he cannot kill any of these twos anyways. And I like just keeping the Draven for next turn instead, and just kind of going wide this way. Because his only answers to this, I mean, you know, he could have a Shapestone, but then he would have to sacrifice his action. He could have... Okay. So I think we can push enough damage here, like this. So he probably kills this one here, and he's going to probably decide to take the 8 damage. We have the Willing Death, by the way, as a way to push some damage if he tries to grab this. Yeah, wow, he decided to sacrifice his action. So he's down to 12. He could have what, Sivir here, I guess? So the Sivir kills the Kibber kills the Risen Rider. But now we have a Draven. single combat doesn't do it. I'm willing to do the baboon, especially now that we got this. And again, because we have... I'm willing to summon one. Willing to summon one and leave enough for the Willing Death. And we can actually kill the Fleet Feather Tracker with the Spinning Axe and have another unit attack with the Grenadier. Okay. Maybe it was actually better to just push as much damage as possible. Instead of trying to go for this. I think if he goes to 6, we're still fine. Yeah, I think I'm still okay with this. Again, I don't think he can kill us before we can kill him after this. Because now we have Daring Poros. He goes down to 6. We run triple get excited. We run mystic shots. He doesn't have a board to really do anything here. I was afraid of doing the might. Oh, and we even have the ballistic burn now to try to even do more damage. Sure. Of course, a single combat makes us a little bit sad. He could have the rally here, but he doesn't have enough to do rally plus... Like, I don't think he has enough to do the rally and kill us. So the thing that kills us here is going to be the single combat or a concerted strike. I'm willing to do this right now. Of course, like I said, the rally is a big deal, but the rally doesn't kill us. The rally puts us at 4 HP. Yeah. I guess if he summons the Walking Soldier, we have to actually block something, but we have the Sunny Urchin as a blocker, right? So he has to, yeah, there we go. So he got whatever he needed. So he got either the, that tells me he had either the single combat or got the sharp side, got anything that he needed from there, right? I think it's better to stay wide. So if we go wide, because he's at 2 HP. Wow. That's huge, right? That just wins us the game, no? Because we have the might. So we have the might to finish up the game right here. We have the impact, we have elusive. We have 2 damage from everything else. We're wider than he is. As a concerted strike doesn't do it. He needs to have both 2 single combats, which means he sacrifices one of his units. And we have the might to finish up if he does that. So I think that should be game. He cannot get through this anymore. Because of the might. And because of the spell shield with the might. So we'll see what he's able to do here. That's not enough. Again, we're still wider than him. He only has mana for 2. And we have the might to be able to finish him off. So we just do the might on the Rumble and he's done. Because we have Spell Shield and he has no mana to be able to deal with Spell Shield. Unfortunate. That's why Might is so good in this deck. That Overwhelm with Spell Shield is so good. But there we go. That's kind of how you end up winning those games against kind of this mid-range type of decks. So it does really well against Silver Action. They've always been vulnerable to this type of burn decks. So in this matchup, we're going to be going up against a Teemo Caitlyn, which has become a very popular deck here in the past couple of days. I think what we need to try to do is kind of raise them down. I'm willing to keep 1 Mystic Shot as a way to kind of deal with Teemo. Double Rumble is not the greatest thing. You usually don't want to see double Rumble. You do usually want to keep 1 Rumble in your mulligan though, right? He is a pretty big win condition, okay? And we ended up just getting a lot of our burn early, which is not great. But also not the worst thing in the world either. Okay, I mean, at least we get the Lost Soul, which is not a bad card that we can discard. We have to get excited for the Caitlyn. And we have a Mystic Shot for the Teemo. Although probably to get excited is probably better off being put on the tree. I guess it depends. Whichever three drop he does here, whether it's Caitlyn or the other guy, I think he ends up being okay. Okay, we can just play the baboon. At least we have something we can do this turn. Cool. Here I'm gonna just go all greedy and just get all my discard targets out of the way. It lets us pull something so we can get in for 5, 8, 9, 10 damage if he doesn't summon anything else. We even have the Rumble Flame Splitter if we need to do some damage in other areas. What he can do is that he can have the 4-drop. Yeah, the chump wump. That's what I was thinking that he might have there. I guess we can just pull it like this. Does it matter? I guess he can block here and then we take 4 if we do it this way. But this, I think, still presents the most damage. Because if we pull it like this, then it's the same thing. Except that we won't be able to kill the chump. So, I think we just do it like this. We have this as a blocker for the chump worm next turn. So here he's taking 9 damage regardless. And we have 4, 7, 9 points of damage in our board. Is it actually worth it to do the Flame Splitter here? Because we have 4, 7, 9. This actually pushes what we need. They don't have any heals, so I think we can just go for the lethal here, no? I think we can just start setting up the lethal here. This puts him down to 8. I'm forcing him to have to do a Mystic Shot on this guy if he doesn't want to take this much damage. So he can stop 3 damage by putting a Mystic Shot here. And then our Rumble is going to be doing a lot of damage every turn because it's going to have the impact too, and it's going to level up on our next attack as well. So he should put a Mystic Shot here, which means he's not going to have a way to get rid of the Rumble Spell Shield in an easy manner. The Spell Shield makes it really difficult for the opponent to be able to really do anything here. Wow, okay. So that should be game. I don't think the opponent can kill us faster than we can kill him due to our burn. I guess the only thing we need to worry about is do we have the mana to finish him off before he can finish us off? And I think we do, because we can always play the Twin Blade Revenant next turn to be able to defend against the Chump Wump if he does an open attack. And on our next turn, we can always use the Decimate after our attack, right? And then we can always do the Mystic Shot and get excited on his next attack turn as a fast speed spells. Yeah, so what he realizes, he's like, I need to try to. I think he realizes he's on borrowed time now, and he needs to try to kill us as soon as possible. I don't think 15 puff caps is going to be enough, though. Don't believe 15 puff cap is going to be enough. If you don't open attack, that means I don't have to take this damn. I mean, you know, like, yeah. So here we can just play the Revenant. Gives us a good blocker into one of these 2 guys. Next time we just open attack. We have enough mana for the Decimate. This is doing 2. The Decimate is doing another 4. So that's a guaranteed 6 damage. Because he has no way to get rid of his own units. So sure. And we're gonna take that 4. We're gonna take that 4 damage. We have 20 puff caps, well 19 because we already took one. We're gonna just open attack here. He needs to block, but we still do a guaranteed 2 damage, and he's down to 5 HP. So now we can just do the Decimate, and then we can finish with Mystic Shot or anything else. And the good thing about Rumble Level Up is that because you do damage to the Nexus with Decimate or Mystics, he actually lowers the cost of your Mecha Yodels. So in a funny way here, by us doing this, is going to bring this down to 1 cost and also give it +1/+1. Because his level up ability is that he creates, the first time he creates a Mecha Yodel in hand. And if you already have one in hand, instead what he does is that he gives them +1/+1 and reduces their cost by 1. So, yeah. Unfortunately for you, opponent, we can just finish up right here. I'm not sure where I slow rolled it. We can just do Mystic Shot. Yeah, sorry, opponent. I didn't mean to slow roll you. And that's the game. This deck doesn't really have a way to heal, so we're able to burn them down pretty quickly once we were able to get all their damage in. So, hey, welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed those games today. Bringing you this deck. I hope you kind of got to see a different type of ways that you can win with this deck. You can either go super wide and try to do as much damage as possible and then just burn them down with your spells, or you can rely more on the Rumble win condition where you try to push in with a Might as a backup to try to do as much damage as possible. Really, the key is face, 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 face. You want to just smirk, smirk, smirk. So, but yeah, hope you enjoy that gameplay. I do post videos every single day. So if you like the content, please make sure to subscribe on the YouTube. Or if you want to catch us live, then you can also follow us on Twitch at twitch/Sirturmund. You can find all my socials down in the description. I hope you have a good one. I'll see you all next time.